Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show on this Wednesday evening. I'm Peter Martin. Thank you very much for tuning in to the programme. Alan Ruff and Barry Ferguson are with me on this Wednesday. We'll look back at last night's Champions League football and ahead to the matches tonight. But of course, our main focus, as ever, Scottish football. Yep, that's what we're going to be discussing. First and foremost, I'm looking at this Hibs situation. Suddenly Michael Appleton is out of the running, Ruffy, and it looks as if Paul Heckingbottom is in the box seat now.
It's always a dangerous one when you're going for a new manager. You don't want to be seen to be going down first choice, second choice, third choice. You would like the first guy that you identify to take the job. That hasn't happened, obviously, for reasons, but they'll have to really try and convince this guy that he's the man.
Are they leaving themselves wide open to criticism? The way that the departure of Neil Lennon was handled, the number one choice suddenly can't get money for relocation and is not happy with the settlement money should he get sacked. I mean, for Hibs fans, they must be looking at this and thinking, well, wait a minute, what about long-term view? What about, the potential for this man that we wanted coming in and, and a seamless transition between Lennon and onto Michael Appleton?
Yeah, I think the Hibs fans will be wondering what's going on. Obviously, with Neil Lennon, the departure, what went on round about Neil Lennon going. Obviously, first choice, it looked as if it was Michael Appleton. That's not happened for the reasons that you just mentioned. And now they're on to the second choice. I just hope this manager comes in and he gets off to a good start, because if he doesn't, I'm sure the Hibs fans won't be happy. Yeah,
and everything is going to be gauged on where Neil Lennon finished, as far as the last season and the season before, Ruffy. That's the rod that will be used to the next man's job. This will be the one that they'll beat them over the head with.
Yeah, the fans won't hold in against Neil Lennon for where they are at this precise moment in time. They'll only look at the success that Neil Lennon had when he was there, and there were circumstances why he isn't there this year. Obviously a lot of players been out injured. But yeah, I think the ambition for a club like Hibs, for the supporters, is to be successful and win cups. So the pressure's on whoever it's going to be.
Yeah, OK, let's move on. You can give us your view on social media, by the way, if you're a Hibs fan out there. What do you make of the way this whole situation has been handled? You can get us on YouTube, Facebook, and of course Twitter as well. OK, as far as some of the other news breaking, Barry, Alan McGregor picks up the 2-game ban, loses his appeal. Is it the right decision?
Yeah, actually, funny enough, you mentioned it. I bumped into Alan on Sunday, and I'd asked him.
Tackle you? How high was the tackle when you bumped into you?
And we were obviously talking about it, and I'll be honest with you, I looked in his eyes and I was like, did you mean it? And his words were, look, I'm coming out to protect myself, and I honestly believe that. That's the way previous goalkeepers that I've worked with, they would always come out and try and protect themselves. Was it high? Of course it was high. Could it have been worse than what it was? It could have been. But thankfully Lewis never got hurt. Is it outside the box? It's a booking for me if it's outside the box. I'm sure Rangers will be disappointed in getting to 2 games. But he honestly says to me, and I know Alan obviously playing with him.
Yeah.
I know what type of guy he is. Do I honestly think he's going out to hurt somebody? No, I don't. I just think he's going out to protect himself. Was it high? It was.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Listen, I take all your points on board, but, did he mean to do it? No. You've looked him in the eye, you've played with him, you know what type of character he is. Is it the right decision based on the fact that he did hurt someone and, Aberdeen thought it should have been a penalty as well?
Yeah, when I looked at it, it was a penalty for me. I'm sure I think the referee, looking at the pictures and watching the game, the referee was in a great position for me. It should have been a penalty. Is it the right decision to suspend them for 2 games. Who knows? You just don't know what's going to go on now with all this. For the start of the season, it started for the first game up at Pittodrie, the Morelos.
Yeah. No, I know you don't know, but if you were looking at it in the cold light of day, I'll call it for you first of all, and then you can argue the point with me, the both of you guys. I agree with you. I don't think Alan McGregor would probably go out there to hurt Lewis Ferguson, but he did. And the act in itself, I don't think there was any chance he was going to win an appeal on it. I think the act in itself was reckless. So I think the ban should have stood.
Yeah, it was a reckless challenge.
Yeah.
And it does deserve to be a penalty. Was it a booking or a sending off? I for certain thought it was a booking for me. Certainly, if that's outside the box, it's a free kick.
Yeah.
You can go into it, did he mean it? I've spoke to him, I know him, he never meant it. Is it a deserving of a red card situation or a 2-game suspension? You can argue till you're red in the face.
Yeah.
You're wanting my decision, my honest opinion. Yeah, I think it might have deserved a red card.
Yeah. Listen, I wasn't trying to put you under the point to drag it out of you. The point I'm making is you've actually answered the double whammy here on this. Yes, it was a red card. Yes, he picks up the 2-game ban. Yes, we both believe that he wasn't going to win the appeal. Rangers subsequently, and picking up on your point that you're making about the other situations, Rangers have released a statement saying that they have to accept the decision. They're not happy with it, and they feel as if the system is flawed and needs to be looked at. So Rangers are saying, okay, we accept this one, but there are a number of other decisions that are inconsistent and the system needs to be looked at. And I think Rangers have a point here, because I think a lot of fans are mystified sometimes, and I'm not talking just about Rangers players. I'm talking about overall. When is it definitely a red card? When the mistakes, looking back at a situation, and then this is definitely a kick out. This is definitely worth the 2-game ban, and then sometimes they win an appeal and people are aghast at a club winning an appeal.
Yeah. I know we're never going to find out how the people who deal with the appeal come to the decision, but it'd be very, very interesting to do a sort of a trial on it, to see what 3 people see things differently, and how they come to the decision they're doing. Because Rangers quite rightly will be annoyed with that, because you just have to throw the McGinn scenario into it, and how he got off with that, I do not know. I would love to know how the people on that thought that was just a yellow card.
Yeah, but apart from anything else, I agree. We think there should be some clarification on things. But I don't think we should have each individual described, because we're going down a road.
Every single challenge now is getting cited, and it's in the news. We're all talking about it. It's getting ridiculous for me. It's getting ridiculous. It is part of the game. Listen, some tackles have been over the top. Some have been red cards, some have been yellow cards, but every single situation that happens in a game is getting brought up now, which I don't think is right. People need to bear in mind, it's a physical game. Things do happen at times, and sometimes you just got to go on with it.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier in the week, Ruffy, about the rugby situation. I don't want to harp on about it because there are so many social differences between the sport, the background, the upbringing, the mentality, the psychology, call it what you will. But I do think, some managers and players need to take a step back, need to look at the communication that apparently had gone on just over a month ago with the referees, and need to think long and hard about this constant slaughtering of them. Because at the end of the day, yes, by all means, let's have a bit of clarity, let's have an explanation of how you get to these things, but this constant barrage of criticism, for some, it's at the bottom end where it could cost them their job. I give you, situations where players have been deceitful. Neil McCann's job lost, Dundee, Jordan Jones diving. And then Steve Clark says, well, if Jordan Jones is diving, I want a 2-match ban for one of the Rangers players. It's because the thing is so competitive now. At the top end, it's quite simply because the big two are going head to head.
Yeah, and the reason we had these tribunals and people being cited was to take the pressure away for the referees. The referees have made the decision in 90 minutes. They're quite happy for somebody else to have a look at it. But when they have a look at it, you would like some kind of explanation. Like, we're trying to analyse it. We're trying to put, like Barry's trying to look at Alan McGregor and Did he mean it or did he not mean it?
That's not the point, though.
I know,
I don't
but,
care if he meant it or not. He did it.
But when you go to that tribunal, you're sitting on it. That's what you've got to. You've got to make your mind up. Was that a deliberate or was it not deliberate?
Alan will know himself.
Yeah,
he knew himself.
I don't think he's a dirty goalkeeper. No. I'm on about the actual act, is where they're looking at it and saying, is the act worthy of a red card in a 2-match ban?
It was dangerous, Peter. There's no doubt. And Alan will know that. He's an experienced guy.
Yeah.
But again, you can only go with, do you think he meant it or not? I know him as a guy. I know he didn't. He went over the top. He's got to take a 2 game.
OK, join us after the break. Welcome back to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show. We were talking about Hibs and Rangers in the first part of the programme. We'll be discussing Hearts' injury problems and, of course, coming up, Celtic against Valencia in the Europa League. And we might even touch on the Champions League as well for good measure. Just in case you have just joined us, the main news from today is that Alan McGregor has lost his appeal. He'll be banned for 2 games. And Rangers have reacted to that by releasing a statement to PA Sport. Rangers has no option other than to accept this decision. However, it is abundantly clear questions about the current disciplinary system, which we believe is flawed, must be posed. Rangers has been in dialogue with the SFA on this topic for some time and would urge that the system is now thoroughly reviewed as a matter of extreme urgency. Give us your view on that on YouTube and, of course, Facebook and Twitter as well. We'd love to hear from you, your thoughts on it. Is the act that Alan McGregor was found guilty of worthy of the 2-match ban? Is that what you disagree with? Or is it the all collective, which Rangers have highlighted, which is quite simply they're accepting the ban, but they think the overall system, bearing in mind all the various decisions that have been made over the last few weeks and months, they reckon that the system has to be reviewed. Give us your thoughts on that. We've had the thoughts of Barry Ferguson and Alan Rough as well. Now, to European football. Celtic against Valencia. The Spanish players arrived in Glasgow this afternoon and they're getting ready for that match on Thursday. It really is a mouth-watering tie. To be honest with you, I think this one is, certainly the home fixture, could be a chance for Celtic to actually get a good positive result, because Valencia are not at full strength, Ruffy. They've got injuries.
No, they aren't. But we've seen this before. A lot of clubs coming here with injuries, and they're still quality players. They're still, decent players on the side. The problem for Celtic is they will be better than our domestic sides. So Celtic really do have to step up a gear. They're in fantastic run just now, but this Valencia team aren't a St Mirren. Not an Airdrie. They're not the teams that Celtic have been beaten. So it's going to be a massive night, as it always is, the European nights. And Celtic, in numerous occasions, have stepped up and had some memorable nights, but I really do think they need some kind of lead to take to the next game. Yeah,
the Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers thinks they go into this game on good form.
We're at the best level that we could be at, in terms of the start that we've made and to the second part, but also the level of our game. I think the intensity of it is at a really high level. And irrespective of our opponents, that's what we always try to achieve in the game. To really press the game and play at a real fast tempo and have that throughout the 90 minutes. So I don't think the players are coming into it and could be in any better form. Yeah, we're unfortunate we have players missing through injury, but that's what we've had throughout the season, and we just get on with it and do our work and do our preparation, and like I say, we prepare to win every game.
Sometimes pictures can get people excited. That vision of Kieran Tierney just training with some of his teammates maybe got some Celtic fans excited, but Brendan Rodgers said today there's just no chance you can throw him in to a game of this stature.
Yeah, it's a massive game. Look, it's good for the Celtic fans and the Celtic manager that he's at least close to coming back and playing, because I do think he's a big player for Celtic. Regarding Valencia, I don't think they're the powerhouse they used to be. I think they're a good team, they'll be technically good, but I'm sure Celtic will fancy their chances when I'm coming to Celtic Park, because Celtic are in decent form for the winter break, so it'll be a full house as well. It's a European night, so it'll be a big game, and I think Celtic will allege it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, Ruffy. I mean, I agree with Barry on this. They're not the powerhouse. No fewer, I think, than 5 players, and key players at that, out of the side. They're sitting 8th in La Liga, and the record signing Goncalo Guedes, it looks as if he might be struggling. They've got some really good players in the midfield and the strikers who have all picked up injuries. So maybe, this is the perfect time to get them.
Yeah, of course it is. And with these facts there, yeah, they'll definitely come and try and sit in and try and hit Celtic in the break. They'll be just coming here to look for a goal. That'll be the bonus for them. So it's up to Celtic to break them down. I mean, obviously, Celtic broke down St Johnstone eventually, in the first game that they played with late goals, and it might be the scenario again. It might take that long to get the goals.
Yeah, well, let's not build it up. St Johnstone and Valencia, as far as quality is concerned, we all know Spanish football by far better than the standard we're watching in Scotland. Valencia 1 defeat in the last 9. They did manage a draw in their last 3 games with Barcelona as well. So even Brendan Rodgers is looking and saying to himself, the way we are performing, we can pull off a big result.
If you don't believe, then it can become very difficult. It's normally the attribute that really stands out in the very best players, because a lot of these players have huge talent, but you have to have that personality and belief to go and show that you can perform at that next level. And these players have done that. My players have done that often enough. And this, in my time here, certainly there's other games where we haven't played so well, but we've shown enough that, like Leipzig and teams like that we can cope and cope really, really well.
Okay, we'll find out. We'll get the predictions from these guys ahead of that match on Thursday night. Just staying with Celtic, Ruffy, the financial results have come out, the half-term report on this one, a net profit of 15.2 million. You can tell from the figures that the loss of the Champions League group stage money is so crucial to any club, especially in Scottish football. But they managed to make just a short loss, and that was just basically down to the fact that on the last day of August, they sold Moussa Dembele. Yeah. So clearly, Celtic fans just have to get used to it. No Champions League, and despite the heavy criticism of their lack of spending, which I think was abundantly clear, and it's why the board got it in the neck, they sold Moussa Dembele and bought literally, loan deals, free transfers, you name it, players from America. I don't think it really cut with too many Celtic fans what went on in August.
Yeah, and I don't think too many Celtic fans will be happy with, I would think, the squad as it is just now. I mean, if you look at the team just now, it's not a Champions League squad, not by a million miles compared to the players they had. So I'm sure the supporters will be looking for some kind of investment to get back into Champions League, because that's where they want to be. And to do that, you need to spend money.
I'm not so sure that they'll do that. I mean, I'm looking at them, Barry. They've just under 40 million, just under it, in cash in the bank.
Yeah, look, I disagree with Ruff. I think fans are happy when their team's winning, and they've started winning since the winter break. But come the summer, I'm sure the fans looking at that sort of money that they've got lying in the bank, they'll look to hopefully that the club will go out and buy. They always look for 1 or 2 star players. I think that's what the fans want. But in the meanwhile, I think the Celtic fans will be relatively happy because they've been winning games in the league. They're in the Cup and they're still in the Europa League. So I think they'll be fine with that. But come the summer, I'm sure the fans will expect them to open that chequebook and bring in a couple of players.
Okay. Celtic Valencia, how do you see it going?
As I said, I don't think Valencia are the same team for 5-6 years ago. They've still got good quality, but I think Celtic will have a chance because they're in decent form.
Probably 1-0, 2-0 would be better.
Okay. Injury blow for Hearts, Ruffy. We're now Dimitri Mitchell with that knee problem again, and also Michael Smith out. So that's a real blow for them.
Yeah, it can only be good for the teams that they're going to be playing coming up soon.
You mean Partick Thistle?
Yeah. I don't want to say they pick up more injuries before we get that to on a personal note.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to see any players out for any length of time. And he certainly was a player that was beginning to fire, scoring some fantastic goals. So he'll be a big miss for them.
Okay, quickly and briefly, Man United, just Ole Gunnar Solskjaer mentioned that's where they are in European football. PSG go to Old Trafford, win 2-0.
Yeah, it's been great for him in the league. Obviously, he's come in and he's been flying, but you seen the difference in quality last night. PSG are that level above Man United at this moment in time. But I still think long term, Solskjaer is the man. You can see the difference he's made.
Yep, okay. Ruffy, tonight, if you had the choice, which I presume you have in your house, Ajax against Real Madrid or Tottenham against Dortmund. Barry and myself are going to watch the match at Wembley.
Yeah, I think if you want to see all the big English clubs doing particularly well, but I think everybody's got a wee soft spot for Tottenham now.
Yeah.
You know, I think the manager speaks very well, and I think they're just lacking something. You know, but I would like to see them getting a wee extended run.
Yeah, they're going to win tonight.
Just 2-1.
Yeah, I just think Harry Kane's massive for him.
Yeah.
But listen, they're at home, Dortmund. I think they'll just edge it.
Okay. Yeah, Ruffy saying there that, some people have a wee soft spot for English clubs. Not Hugh McDonald. His son and Hugh go to watch Dortmund regularly. They'll be cheering with the yellow and black on tonight, I am almost certain. Okay, never a dull moment in Scottish football. Hopefully you enjoyed the chat and you can participate with us. From Ruffy, Barry and myself, thanks for watching.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.